I say this all the time, and I ask myself, why do I constantly bring this up in almost every single video? Oh, I know. It's because people, whether if it's on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or even mainstream TV, are absolutely stupid, and they desperately want to be the first ones to say something so that later they could either be right or the biggest dumbass on the planet. I've shown you countless times people reacting to 15-second clips or information that doesn't have full context and saying, it's objectively this situation because this person who is the victim is obviously marginalized in some capacity. And if you don't believe them, if you don't believe their story, if you give me facts and evidence, you obviously hate that marginalized community. It got so bad to the point where somebody had to print a retraction and was annoyed by it because he couldn't go along with the narrative of transgenders of the victims. Why? Because the transgender he was sticking up for was a sex offender. I don't know why I woke up and had to hear about a 10-year-old being. But the weird part is, if you listen to one side, they'll only talk about how, oh, this only happened and is mainstream because this 10-year-old went to another state to get an abortion because of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And if you look to the other side, you only see this being brought up as, oh, it's Biden's fault because the person who 10-year-old girl is an illegal immigrant or illegal alien. Side note, I don't know why people be calling Mexicans illegal aliens. That's just weird to me, but that's besides the point. I don't know why we're having these two sides in the conversation when it all could be brought up when the main point is a 10-year-old being. And guess what? For the amount of people that was on TV saying, oh, it's a lie, or we're investigating these people that did this because we don't believe this is true, we didn't hear anything about this, the fucking himself admitted it. So throw all that hoax and lie shit out the window. I understand you got to go on TV and say something, but don't get on TV and broadcast things as a lie. Don't get on TV and broadcast people doing something for a 10-year-old who was as a bad thing. Nobody should be sitting here saying a 10-year-old should be carrying a baby. I'm sorry you might feel a certain way about abortion and baby carrying. I know all you Jesus freaks might tell me something, but at the end of the day, no 10-year-old should be pregnant under any circumstance.
Ocultando su rostro, esta mujer quien nos abrió la puerta en la casa donde la policía confirma vive Gerson Fuentes, acusado de violar a una niña de 10 años, se identificó como madre de la menor y aseguró que él es inocente.
¿Usted como madre de la niña piensa que él es inocente?
Claro.
¿Y por qué entonces está preso él?
No sé, pero no quiero hablar la verdad.
Noticias Telemundo confirmó con 2 personas que la conocen que en efecto ella es la madre de la niña, incluyendo a Daisy Torres, quien asegura que ambas frecuentan un club nocturno en común. Tras ver fotos e imágenes de video grabadas con nuestras cámaras, esto afirmó.
¿Esa es ella?
Es ella, sí, correcto.
Y usted dice que ella es la mamá de la niña de 10 años que fue violada.
Sí, es la mamá de la niña.
Dijo además que la señora tiene una relación sentimental con Gerson Fuentes.
Es su pareja y es el padre del niño que ella tiene en su vientre ahora mismo.
O sea que la señora está en embarazo.
Sí.
Durante nuestra entrevista exclusiva con la señora que dice que es la madre de la niña, insistimos si Gerson Fuentes, de 27 años, era el violador de la menor. Sin titubeos, respondió.
Todo lo que están diciendo en contra de él es mentira.
It's bad to the point where the doctor who performed the abortion is now suing the attorney general for getting on TV and defaming her character for performing an abortion on a 10-year-old that got raped.
The Indiana doctor who performed an abortion on a 10-year-old rape victim from Ohio now taking the first legal step anyway toward a defamation lawsuit against Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita.
That's right. This comes after Rokita called Dr. Caitlin Bernard, quote, an abortion activist acting as a doctor with a history of failing to report during an interview with Fox News. He also suggested she may have committed a crime in failing to report the abortion or violated privacy laws. Now attorneys representing Dr. Bernard have filed a tort claim notice against Rokita. He says the lawsuit is a part of a divisive narrative and an attempt to distract from the important work of the office.
Basically that he accused her of failing to report child abuse, which is false. She absolutely did that and complied with the law. He accused her of being an activist acting as a doctor, which suggests that she was pretending to be a doctor without a license, which is a crime when it's obviously readily available to him just looking up her license that she's actually a doctor in good standing.
Well, Bernard's attorney says the tort claim puts Rokita on notice that they are considering filing a formal lawsuit against him in 90 days and gives him the opportunity to resolve the issue disputed or to prepare to fight it out in court.
I understand that everybody got to have a hot take. I understand nowadays if you don't have an opinion on something that happens, you're obviously somebody who doesn't care. But the thing about me specifically, and why I will never sit here and pick one side over the other, I'm always going to pick my side, is because when it comes to the information being broadcast on Twitter, nobody has full details. I don't care if you're the best journalist on the planet, you don't have full information about something. That's why you should get on TV and Twitter and say, this is the details as it stands, more information to come. This is why you should be saying, we don't have all the facts right now. You shouldn't be getting on TV and broadcasting yourself as if you're spitting 100% facts, because eventually more information is going to come out. Eventually, more people are going to add on to the story to provide facts and evidence. And eventually, you're either going to look like the person who guessed it right or the person who looks like a fucking dumbass. And in this case, a lot of people look like fucking dumbasses. Why? Number one, because they're prioritizing one thing over the other thing and not the fact that somebody got and it was a 10-year-old. And two, they're getting on TV and acting as if everything they're saying is 100% true when it's not. And it's weird that one of the people that was out here calling it a lie was interviewed and asked about it, and he didn't even have the balls to apologize for the fact that he's out there saying that this is a lie, if anyone's surprised. He's sitting there trying to spin it as if it's Biden words. It's normal to just blame Biden for everything.
Because we learned that this illegal alien did this heinous crime. So we deleted the tweet.
Did you apologize to the girl and the family for suggesting it was a lie?
Never doubted the child. I was responding to a headline from your profession, the news profession, which happens all the time on Twitter. Doubted Joe Biden, which is usually a smart thing to do.
Leave the politics out of the fucking situation, please. Just hope in this reality that this asshole who the 10-year-old stays in jail for a long time, because say what you want about Big Tyrone, he is a criminal. We can't sit here and praise him for too much, but he does not condone kids being abused. So I hope that bastard, I don't care what his sexuality is, I don't care what his gender is, I don't care what his skin color is, he belongs in jail, and Big Tyrone is going to do him something dirty because he makes sure everybody drops the soap. But in the meantime, for the love of God, please don't just be blindly listening to a bunch of people. Actually wait for more information. I know it's hard to get on your computer and get off Pornhub and actually look up some research, but I promise you it'll pay out dividends in the end. Why? Because you didn't just blindly believe a bunch of people. You took the time to wait and actually have full context and information. And even in this situation, more details will come out, and that's just the lay of the land. So subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.